Alright guys, thank you so much for turning to this brand new video. President Trump just came on camera live on TV. He casually said, I will be invading Cuba. This is how easy for President Trump to now invade any country, invade any state. First of all, take a look what President Trump just said.
Donald Trump just announced that he will be invading Cuba, and he said it so casually that it is barely making news. This is supposed to be the anti-war president, and he was in Palm Beach speaking to a group of people.
Yeah, he's an anti-war president. He stopped 8 wars in the world.
And he said on the way back from Iran, why not? We'll invade Cuba. What? The anti-tool? But Tulsi told me this is the anti-war. She said it. And he's doing war after war.
Originally a place called Cuba, which we will be taking over almost immediately. What we'll do, on the way back from Iran, we'll have one of our big, maybe the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, the biggest in the world. We'll have that come in, stop about 100 yards offshore, and they'll say, thank you very much, we give up.
But I thought, sir, that you were the anti-war president. Oh, don't worry about that. But is this another illegal invasion with no congressional authorization? Don't worry about that. Just shut up and vote for Republicans in November.
Well, he's worried for the midterms of 2026 November, and in the beginning he was a peacemaker. He several times in every speech, every point, everywhere, wherever he goes, he says, I'm a peacemaker. I have stopped 8 wars in the world, and including the India and Pakistan war. That might be the nuclear war as well. So he takes credit all the time. And then what? I was assuming, okay, he's a president and he's kind of peacemaker in the world. But what he did then, he started a war himself with Iran, and now he is trying to end the war with Iran. He's trying to make a peace deal, and he's trying to say, I will invade Cuba. What he did to Venezuela, you know all them, and I'm still confused. Is a peacemaker or a peace destroyer?
But what is this going to cost? Because you said that you would pay off the entire national debt during your first term, but it exploded. Don't worry about that. Shut up and vote in November for Republicans, despite nearly $4.50 again.
Are you gonna vote for President Trump in the upcoming November in this year? What are your plans? Let me know.
Gallon gas prices. But isn't Cuba a sovereign country of around 10 million people? Who gives a damn? On the way back, we'll invade Cuba. He says it as casually as I might say, let's stop at that great empanada place on the way back.
Well, just stop here for a moment. I just remember during election campaign, he did not promise that I will invade Cuba, I will invade Venezuela, or I will invade Iran. He promised so much during election campaign that I will decrease the prices of groceries, gasoline. I hope you are getting gasoline on cheaper prices, but the people are saying, no, we are getting on higher prices as usual. So, what do you want to say? Like, did he fulfill the promises that he made during election campaign? And I was very excited that Trump will make everything cheaper in USA. But it's the opposite. Condition is really very opposite. What is the condition of your state? From which state you're watching this video? Let me know.
With the spicy chimichurri. He says it, I think we're going to invade Cuba on the way back. Now, I do think it's worth asking another question. What does he mean by take over or invade Cuba? Is it U.S. troops landing on Cuban soil? Because he talks about the aircraft carrier, as he says, 100 feet offshore. But does it mean U.S. troops on Cuban soil? Does it mean armed conflict with Cuban military forces? Is it an immediate international crisis? Is it another economy destroying, ill thought out scheme from a guy whose only concern is how can I look as the biggest, strongest boy in the world?
Yeah, a lot of reports I can see even on Fox News, they are saying the economy is not going well after the war with Iran. and President Trump is planning another war.
And what sort of retaliation would we expect? And would we expect Iran to assist Cuba? Would we expect Russia to assist Cuba? We don't know. But it's the anti-war president, is what we were told, who won't get involved. He won't be getting us into quagmires the way Hillary would, or Biden, or Kamala Harris. It's only Trump who will keep us out of this crap. Understands, Trump does, we were told, how these silly, misguided forever wars and military entanglements are and how bad they are for the American economy. And then he talks so casually about the next invasion while he's still involved in the previous one. There's no thinking. There's not a framework. There's not a strategy. The coalition, forget about a coalition. And so is he the guy who is anti-war, or is he the guy casually proposing military takeovers? I don't know which it is at this point.
President Trump is thinking the people of USA are with me in this issue that I started over with Iran, but the report says 65% people, they are actually opposing this war, and they say it's unwanted war. We don't want this. We want cheaper prices. But Trump does the opposite.
Now let's talk about the reaction, because this is arguably the biggest part of the story. When something this serious gets said, and it barely even registers, it is a reminder of how dumb the political environment has become. No emergency hearings over yet another invasion plan by Donald Trump. No wall-to-wall outrage the way we probably should be having on 24-hour cable news. Zero accountability. And by the way, I know some of you will go, well, David, he was kind of kidding. It was just a joke. We're now okay with the president who is in the middle of an invasion joking about another one? What reason do we have to think that it's a joke? We might suspect someone will distract Trump with the next shiny object and he won't end up doing it, but there's not really any accountability for the seriousness of what Donald Trump is saying. So what we're seeing is that the more extreme the statement, the more it shifts what feels normal. And it's now take over Cuba that kind of gets a hem and a haw. Tomorrow it's maybe something even more extreme, and it sounds just as normal because we just had I'll invade Cuba and everybody just kind of looks around and shrugs. I don't know. It shouldn't be forgotten, I would add, that the United States already tried to take Cuba, and there's a kind of a long sordid history of that if you look back. It was called the Bay of Pigs invasion. It was a complete and total disaster for the United States, complete overconfidence that was not justified, terrible planning, and it blew up internationally. That is the closest real world version of what Donald Trump is now ringing the war bells about. And it failed within days, and it's part of what pushed the United States towards the Cuban Missile Crisis. So listen, I'll just ask you, do you believe Trump was kidding when he said that? And we probably even need to define what he means by kidding, because with Donald Trump, kidding often means it's a trial balloon to see what kind of a reaction he gets so that he can then decide whether this is something he does or doesn't want to pursue. So leave me a comment. As you do so, hit the subscribe button on YouTube so we can get to those 4 million subscribers, or send me an email, info@davidpakman.com.
Well, guys, did you listen to President Trump? What just he said? He was trying to say, I will be invading Cuba, and it's a serious now. He was not kidding. I really believe he was not kidding at all. He did that to Venezuela. He did that to Iran, and we are facing the consequences. Not just USA. You can see literally in all the states of USA, the people are getting gasoline on higher prices. The economy experts, they are saying the economy of USA is not going well after the war. And not just in USA, outside of USA, people are actually suffering. People are facing inflation, and they are hitting towards President Trump because they are facing inflation. Before this war, people were kind of in love with President Trump, Asia, and especially in South Asian countries. But now everybody is hating towards President Trump. So what is your stance? What do you want to say? What does your experience say? What President Trump is just going to do with Cuba? Let me know in the comment section, guys. I'm just a student of US politics and you're the teacher. You have to teach me the correct politics of USA. Well, I'm really very worried about the midterms of 2026. And by the way, what are your plans about midterms? Please let me know in the comment section. I really gain a lot of knowledge from your comments. So please comment under my video and I'll bring more important videos for you. Till then, please take care of yourself. Please take care of your health as well. It's really very important.